Okay, guys, good afternoon. This week's Parshas is Parashat Beshalach. So finally, we're coming to the point that the Jewish people are being redeemed. And this is the most historical, important thing that happened to the Jewish people, because now, finally, only after they get out of Egypt, they have been redeemed from Egypt, Hashem could give them the Torah. Hashem could give to the Jewish people the Torah, and the chosen people will be the chosen people, what they're meant to be. While they're in Egypt, was it possible that the Jewish people will be the Jewish people, the chosen people? With the Egyptians outside of Israel, exile, was it possible? So the answer is no, it wasn't possible at all. And Hashem needs to take them out of Egypt, to give them the Torah, to bring them into the land of Israel. And that's what will make the Jewish people, the chosen people, that they could perform. They could be who they're meant to be. So things take time, guys. The Jewish people were in exile and ended up in Egypt itself, 210 years. And it took a while till they come out. Hashem has exactly the calculation when exactly the Jewish people will go out. And, putting all the pieces together, all the parts together, figuring out all the details, all the nuances, when I'll take out the Jewish people out of Egypt. So it's happening right now. And what's fascinating is also, like I said to you, is first Hashem sees everything, sees the suffering, sees the problems, sees all the issues that are happening over there in Egypt. And then it comes a point and it says, okay, let's do it right now. But actually, what happened that they were able to go out from Egypt? So what was the straw that broke the back of the camel? What was it, guys? How we know what says in the verses, what you saw in the verses, that Hashem said, okay, let's take them out. What was it? What says? Okay, you remember a little bit in the verses before, the Parshas before? The work became very hard, what you said, Avi. Therefore, what the Jewish people, let's go back. When things were coming tough, when Moshe goes the first time to speak to Pharaoh, and he says to him, I'm a messenger of God. He sent me to you that you should let the Jewish people go out and celebrate in the desert for 3 days. What did Pharaoh respond? What did Pharaoh say?
No.
How did he say to no? So the answer, right? The Pharaoh said, who is God? Me Hashem. Who is Hashem that I should listen to him? No way. So, and what did Pharaoh respond for that? For them, just for asking, guys. Let's get it right. Go carefully, go through the steps. It's very good, very healthy to see the stages, all what happened. So it's the first, remember, guys, this is the first appointment that Moshe and Aaron are speaking to Pharaoh. They come into the palace, they speak to him, we are the messengers of God. He asked us, like we said, let these people go, let my people go. And Pharaoh says, who is Hashem? Now, Pharaoh is getting very angry. And he's saying, you know what? You know why you're asking this? It must be that you have free time. And when people have free time, they start to think some nonsense and stupid things. So that's why you're coming up with this crazy idea of me letting the Jewish people to go out. So you know what? How you solve the problem in the eyes of Pharaoh will make him to work harder. So if till today they'll get the supplies of the straw and the hay to make these bricks, now the Jewish people themselves have to go and find the straw and hay, go all around Egypt, and they have to come with the same amount that they were doing before. So not only that Moshe and Aaron, not only that they didn't help the Jewish people, what they did? Worse. Much harder. And when in the beginning over there, when Moshe and Aaron are leaving the Jewish people bump into Moshe and Aaron, they're saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? Not only you didn't help us, you made it worse for us. We have to provide the same amount of bricks, right, that we did before, and we have to go all around Egypt to find the Shronei. It was a crazy thing. And the Torah describes that it was very, very hard. So as you see in front of you guys, not only they didn't help, it became worse. So what did Jewish people do, guys, when it came worse? They prayed. It came a point, guys, that they were so desperate, and they said that, when a person is so broken, so desperate, he feels, you know what? The only one that really can help me over here is God. And that's what it says, that they screamed out to Hashem. It says, Vayizaku. Yizaku is, in Hebrew, there are a few languages of using for praying. Ze'aka is somebody that is screaming from his depths of his heart for a big problem that he has. And the verse says, Vayizaku Hashem. They really scream out to Hashem from the depths of the heart. Vatal sha'avatam. And the suffering came up to them. You see, if you look carefully in the verse, I'll say again in Hebrew. Vayizaku. What's Vayizaku? Screamed out. El Hashem. Vatal, and goes up. Sha'avatam. What's sha'avatam? Sha'avatam is the suffering. When they prayed to God, so deep, so broken, and it was a real prayer, desperately asking from Hashem, please, we can't take this anymore. This is ridiculous. It's crazy what's going on. What happened just now, even more so, right? So it comes to a point that really caused them to pray. And in the end of the day, guys, have that in mind, that you see it again and again with the Jewish people. It's true for getting out of Mitzrayim, for starting the process of redemption. Hashem listens to the prayer. Hashem is going to send Moshe and Aaron to speak to Pharaoh. It will take a while. It did not happen in 24 hours or a week. The whole negotiation, the whole process of getting out the Jewish people from Mitzrayim took a year. The 10 plagues, the warning, the plague itself. So the whole thing, the 10 plagues, took a process of a year. And eventually, it's happening now, the Jewish people. But just remember that point, guys, that what really causes to start to bring redemption is the Jewish people reaching out, screaming to Hashem because of the suffering that they have, the pain that they have, and because that it's a real prayer. Hashem hears it, listens to them, and he sees the pain, and he says, okay, this is the time to take out the Jewish people. Let's start the process. Okay, so this is happening right now. So the pasuk starts in this week's parasha, Vahi Beshalach Pharaoh et ha'am. So when eventually, like I said, the Jewish people, unbelievable, after 210 years, they're leaving out of Egypt. You could understand that this is a mega event. How many people are the Jewish people? What's the number? 600,000 men between the age of 20 and 60. So you always have to figure out the children below 20 and above 60 and women. So you're talking about millions of people, guys, going out of Egypt. This also itself was a great miracle, just to organize them and to get them to leave just like this very fast. That's also that itself, to gather everybody and to tell them, okay, guys, we're leaving tomorrow morning. Boom. So that itself. Okay, Vahi Beshalach Pharaoh et ha'am, when he's sending the people, the nation, Velo nacham Elokim, God did not want derech eretz plishtim. The Jewish people will go out of Egypt, and what did when Hashem met Moshe the first time, what did he say to Moshe? I'll take out the Jewish people out of Egypt, and I'll give them what? I'll give them the Torah, yeah? He met Moshe in the bush, and that bush was in Mount Sinai, and he says to him, the Jewish people, I'll bring them to here, and I'll give them the Torah that they should follow, yeah? So now that they're walking in the desert, if they wanted to walk straight and go, let's say, in the normal way, they had to go to this place, the land of Plishtim. Plishtim is a nation that were living close to Egypt. And what is Hashem afraid? Why Hashem does not want the Jewish people to take the shortcut and go through Plishtim? What's the problem?
Because Hashem's afraid, well, not afraid, but that Klal Yisrael will see this new nation, that they might be under attack, and they'll flee back to Mitzrayim.
Very good. So what you see over here in the verses is a fascinating idea, guys. The Jewish people are millions of people. But being that they're in slavery for 210 years, they have still the mentality of slaves. They don't have the mentality of regular society, of regular people that can handle a war. And Hashem is saying like this, if we go through Plishtim and the Plishtim will refuse that we should go through, we'll have to start a war. And it's too close to Egypt that the people will want to go back to Egypt. So it's a fascinating idea that even though it's so many people, but you see the mentality is so down in the mentality of slaves that they cannot handle a war. They're not strong enough to handle a war. So Hashem says, okay, we won't go the shortcut, the regular way, the regular route that you should take, because that's what makes sense, just to go straight through Plishtim. That will be the most convenient way, just to go straight through Plishtim. Hashem says, there's a problem over here. The Jewish people are not ready and not up to fight a war. We have to go around. So if they're coming here from Egypt, instead of going straight, Hashem has to take them around in the desert, guys, to cross to the Red Sea. So that's what's happening over here. And also when you see, when Pharaoh eventually finds out, oops, the Jewish people fooled me, they ran away from me, he's running after them. How many people are with Pharaoh? How many soldiers Pharaoh is running with? So the Torah says 600. Now you hear the numbers, guys. 600 soldiers, okay, are running with Pharaoh after millions of people. And they're terrified. They're so afraid from Pharaoh. Millions of people. What's going on here, guys? So again, it's the same idea. It's still the mentality and what they're used to. They are still afraid from Pharaoh. Pharaoh is the strongest man. Egypt was a huge empire back in the day. The Jewish people were there for 210 years. 210 years that they were telling them what to do, what to work, when to work, controlling them 100%. And being that they're living that lifestyle and that mentality that they are being controlled doesn't disappear right away. Doesn't disappear. By the way, look how it's relevant. The people that were just released out of Hamas, out of Gaza. So I heard the doctors and the people that are taking care of them, they said that one of the things that they are doing is to train them that they are free people. Because when you're in captivity, it's the same idea like a slave. You're being controlled 100%, right? You can't move a step without permission. They tell you exactly what to do, when you'll shower, when you could go to the bathroom, what you're getting to eat. Everything is being controlled to the detail. And they said that exactly to help them, to give them the right rehab that they'll come back to be normal, so to speak, is to do it carefully in stages. And one of the things that they do, they train them that they should make the decision. They ask them what you want to eat for breakfast, what you want to eat for lunch, to make them to make the decision. You want to take a walk outside? Do you want to do this? to give them to decide, to give them the training them that they are free people to go back, make decisions on their own. So this was exactly what was happening over here. It doesn't go away. It doesn't disappear, guys. You're talking about people, nation, families that were growing up into this, right? For 210 years, is still that mentality. And even though there are so many of them, they're still afraid and they're living with that idea. They're terrified. When we'll see later, when they come to the actually crossing the Red Sea, they're freaking out. They think that that's it. This is the end. In the front of them is the Red Sea. In the back of them is the Egyptians. Besides them, it's two mountains, and they have nowhere to go. This is really the end, huh? Again, what they do? Moshe prays, and Hashem says to him, "What are you screaming? Go ahead." And you need one person to jump into the water, and that person is Nachshon ben Aminadav, guys, from the tribe of Yehuda. He actually jumps into the water first, and everybody follows him. But you see, it's the same idea. So just like they went out of Egypt, so much suffering, things are coming worse. Like we said, Moshe and Aaron, you're not helping us. It just became worse. And Hashem says to them, okay, that caused them to pray. And when they prayed, Hashem started the process of redemption. This is the really, guys, this story of splitting the Red Sea is finishing the redemption of Egypt. It was another power, another twist that Hashem tested them. Here we go. You think you lost. You think this is the end. That's it. Now really, we're stuck forever. That's it. This is our end. No future. What will be? Water in front, Egyptians behind, mountains beside us. What? Well, pray and Hashem will tell you what to do. Here we go. Same idea. Okay, guys. Let me share with you just insight. Why vehi Beshalach Pharaoh? What is the first question that you should ask here? Who's getting the Jewish people out of Egypt? Hashem. One is Hashem, yeah? So how to say vehi Beshalach Hashem? What's going on here, guys? Why it says Beshalach Pharaoh? Vehi Beshalach Hashem. It should say Beshalach Hashem. Fair question, no? Good question. So yes?
I have another question on your question.
You have a question on my question, but it's not an answer.
It's not an answer.
Oh, just make it, okay. Just to make it more complicated. Go for it, yeah.
Can we go back one step even more? It said in last week's Parshas that even Pharaoh would be killed by the firstborn plague, and then he's of course spared, but he's still afraid of it.
Right.
Why is he spared? Is he the only firstborn spared in Egypt?
The only purpose that God left him alive is to see the splitting of the Red Sea. That's what the commentaries explain. That's the only reason that he survived. That he should see it with his own eyes. This whole story of the splitting of the Red Sea. So the Ohr Somayach points out, and he says like this. And that's actually, it's good that you mentioned that, because this is the idea, guys. The 10 plagues that Hashem did covers everything in the world. Sand, the earth, the fire, the water, the animals, all areas, guys, all directions that are possible in this world. Hashem is showing Pharaoh, hey man, is one creator that is controlling this. And I'll change the Nile to blood, and I'll bring to you frogs, and you'll have lices, and all your cows will die, and all these monsters, unbelievable animals will come into your neighbor, to your city, to your houses. Hashem is showing his hand all over. And this, redeeming the final, this is another twist, like I said to you, finishing the redemption, showing completely the hand of Hashem. So now the idea is like this. The Torah is telling you like this. And this is also a fundamental idea that what the Ohr Somayach explains, guys. The Ohr Somayach explains, we have to understand, guys, You think Pharaoh is stupid? Pharaoh wasn't a smart man? He was smart or not smart? He was smart. It makes sense, guys. The biggest empire. He was probably, a very smart man, a ruler, controller, running all this. What was he thinking, guys? What's going on here? Why it took him? It's a year. Moshe comes and talks to him. Let these people go. Yes, go. Don't go. Go, don't go. Go, don't go. What is going on here, guys? For 12 months, what's going on here? He doesn't see the hand of Hashem.
Hashem hardened his heart.
Hashem, oh.
Arrogant enough that he would.
So Moshe says Hashem hardened his heart. But you need a logic idea, guys. What is Pharaoh thinking? He needs to explain himself. In one of the plagues, we saw that his advisors already are screaming at him. Wait, he didn't sense that Egypt is almost gone? That's what his advisors, his helpers tell him. Well, you don't see that you're losing the whole country? So you need some logic, guys. What is Pharaoh thinking? You need some logic. You're right, Moshe, even though that Hashem hardened his heart, but you need a logic. Well, what is he telling his people? What is he telling his ministers?
Perhaps that in order to rebuild, we need a slave force again.
You need what?
We need the slave force again.
Yeah, but you see that you're going to lose the country. Hashem is punishing you with all these crazy, crazy plagues. So who knows what will be next? And he keeps changing his mind. Okay, go. Don't go. Then he negotiate. Oh, go without the children. Oh, go without the animals. Oh, go this, go that. What's going on here?
Maybe he's debating whether it's Hashem who's doing all these actions, and maybe he's just it's just happening. It's the world. The world's just naturally happening without God. Things are happening.
Oh, very good. So the answer is, guys, and this is a fundamental idea. Again, the Ohr Somayach. He says the following. When Moshe and Aaron came, like we mentioned, the first time to the palace, and they're telling him, God appeared to us and asked us to be the messengers to speak with you, to release the people. Let my people go. And we said, what did Pharaoh said? Who is God? But guys, what they were asking exactly? What was exactly? To release the Jewish people forever? Or Moshe and Aaron were asking something else?
Big sacrifices.
Oh. So if you look carefully, guys, in the verse, you see, when they come the first time to Pharaoh, so they say to him, it's in chapter 5, verse 3. Okay, chapter 5, verse 3. Here, let's look at verse 1. Chapter 5, okay? V'achar ba'u Moshe and Aaron, v'yomu el Paro. They come and say to Paro, Ko amar Hashem Elokei Yisrael. This is what the God of the Jewish people said. Shalach et ami, send my people, let my people, v'yachugu li, they'll celebrate to me, bamidbar. And they'll celebrate to me in the desert. Vayomer Paro says, Mi Hashem, who's Hashem? Asher eshma b'kolo. Who's Hashem that I should listen to me? To him. Leshalach et Yisrael. Lo yadati et Hashem. I never heard of him. V'gam et Yisrael lo ashalach. I have no idea, right? I'll use my words. I have no idea what you're talking about. Who is God? I never heard about him. I'm not sending the Jewish people. Gimel, verse 3. Vayomru, so they continue. Elokei Evrim, the God of the Hebrews, nikra aleinu, appeared to us. Nilchana will go derech shloshet yamim, 3 days, bamidbar, in the desert. V'nizbecha, and will bring offerings. L'Hashem Elokeinu. So, okay, and we can't do it here. We have to do it outside. So what are they saying, guys? And this is the Ohr Somayach again explaining very nicely. You see, they didn't come and tell Pharaoh, release the Jewish people forever. Release them for 3 days, guys. Meaning, we have to go and celebrate in the desert and come back. That's what it means, 3 days. What it means, 3 days. You see the verse? So here you go. Right? You see it very clear, guys, in the verse. Yeah, Mark, yeah? It says very clear. We'll go for 3 days, celebrate in the desert, Whatever we have to do, we have to do. We have to worship the God over there in the desert, and we'll come back. That's what it means, 3 days. And here we go, guys. That was the debate, and that's the explanation what's going on here. Pharaoh has a dilemma. The dilemma is, what is the real story? Is this an absolute God, what Moshe and Aaron are speaking, is this an absolute God that really controls everything, the whole world, to the details, everything? He's here on earth, in the air, in the water, in the fire, everything is being controlled by him. And he actually just wants to take out his people for 3 days and they'll come back. That's what's going on here. Or, guys, you ready? They are tricking me. This God has power, but he's not absolute. That was the dilemma of Pharaoh. Maybe this God has certain powers. He could change things around. He could do this. He could do that. He could turn the Nile to blood. That's true. And also certain things, guys, remember, also they did it with the black magic also. So certain things they managed to do also. So he wasn't that scared from it.
So he wasn't denying the belief in God that there was Hashem. He was denying that Hashem was absolute. Hashem
Absolute. That the Chaim explains that was his dilemma. He was saying, what is going on here? The meaning, they really want to go back, they want to go for 3 days and come back, okay? Or it's a trick, meaning this God is not absolute, meaning he doesn't have the power for all what he wants. So how he could get out millions of people out of Egypt, he got to trick me. He'll come over to me and say to me, oh, we just want to go for 3 days and we'll be back, right? And I'll never see them again. And that's the whole time that was going. And that's what it means also that Hashem hardened his heart. Hardened his heart that he should go with the other idea. Hardened his heart, Pharaoh, no worries. He's just, in a week it's going to be over. You don't have water. You have these crazy frogs. You have lice. You have these monsters coming and visiting you, right? And lions and tigers and who knows what are coming to visit you. But don't worry. It will just be for a while and it's going to disappear. Hold on. Keep going, right? That's what's going on here. Meaning the logic idea would be is, guys, that like we said, he needs a reason. And what he's thinking is that this is not absolute. This won't be forever. It will be tough. It will be inconvenient. It will be unpleasant. It will be maybe even painful. But it won't be forever because this God is not absolute, and meaning he can't do this the whole time. So just hold on, power, and it's going to be over. Okay? That's what's going on. And that's why Hashem does need to harden his heart, because a normal person would give up right away, or quicker, faster. And that's what Hashem is helping, supporting the idea. It's not absolute, that God. They're tricking you. They said to you 3 days. But they actually want to run away, Pharaoh. Hold on. So you'll be tough for a week, for 12 months. But it's going to be over. Hold on. Okay? So that's the explanation of the Chaim, guys. That was going on the whole year round. And sometimes his advisors are advising him and telling him like this. Oh, yeah, it's just temporary, no worries. And sometimes they're jumping and saying to him, oh my gosh, no, that's it, we can't. No, he's absolute, he's the powerful God. Let them go. So that's always what's going on here, guys. That's what's going on for the 12 months. Till finally we come to the point that he's letting them to go, thinking that they are coming back. And this will be the last test, the last round of the dilemma of Pharaoh. Pharaoh is still thinking and waiting for the Jewish people to come back. Finally, he let them go. What? Hashem is doing it in a way that he Beshalach Parshas. So to speak, guys, who's letting them to go? Pharaoh. Why Parshas? Why not? Why it doesn't say a God? To give the feeling to Pharaoh that he's releasing them. Oh, 3 days go by, guys. Where's the Jews? Why they're not coming back? God, they fooled me. They fooled me. That's the God that is not absolute. They ran away. They're not coming back. I was thinking, that he's the real God controlling everything. They'll be back. And they're not back. They fooled me. So what is he doing? Running after them. Okay, guys? So that's the idea, guys. That's why it says Beshalach power is this finishing this idea of Hashem showing his hand, showing his power, and ending this, this drama that he has over a year with Pharaoh. And if the 12 months we had ups and downs, right? Pharaoh has the whole time the dilemma. Yes, no, yes, no. Is it that tricking him or not tricking him? Is the God absolute or not absolute, right? That's what he's the whole time thinking for 12 months. And sometimes his advisors are telling him this way, that way. Well, guys, this is the conclusion of the story. He's going to finish right here in the Red Sea, seeing the hand of Hashem. That will be finishing that story. But that's how it says Pharaoh, okay? Okay, guys. I'd like to end up with this. I'm sure it was mentioned to you. There is a very fundamental Ramban, Nachmanides, in the end of last week's parasha. The Ramban is a very fundamental idea for the Jewish people. The Ramban speaks about this idea, how come we have so many mitzvot to mark, to remember the Exodus, the Yetziat Mitzrayim. Tefillin, tzitzit, Shabbos, when we say Kiddush, we say to remember the Exodus of Egypt. So the Ramban says that we have two kinds of miracles. We have open miracles, what is called in Hebrew Nes Galui. Open miracle, it's obvious. Splitting the Red Sea, what is that, guys? It's a hidden miracle or open miracle? Open miracle, right? Nobody experienced it ever. Reveal open, obviously you see that it's the hand of Hashem. The 10 plagues, right? Obviously it's open miracles. And then what we have is what we call hidden miracles. Hidden miracles means it's nature, basically. We gave it a name because that's what we used to and that's what we think that is normal. Nature. When the farmer plants seeds in the ground and a beautiful bush grows, or beautiful tomatoes or herbs, whatever is growing over there, what is that? A miracle or not a miracle?
Nature?
Yes.
Like a natural miracle.
Okay, very good. So the answer is that it's a miracle, but it's not splitting the Red Sea, and it's not manna falling from heaven, and it's not turning the Nile to blood, but it's a hidden miracle. And this is very important, guys. Who made that system that when you're putting in the ground seeds, roots of something, and you water it, that it's going to grow? Who made that system? Who guarantees that the sun will rise every day and set every day, and we'll have the seasons, and we'll have this beautiful world continuing to go? So the answer is, the idea is, yeah, God is behind all that. We say every morning, guys, HaMechadesh, God renews every day creation. The same creator that created the world is looking after the world, taking care of the world, and he's every day is a new world, guys. HaMechadesh, guys, God is renewing the world every day. That the sun rise yesterday, so what? Who said it's going and rise today? Who said that it's going to rise tomorrow? So we have this idea of, we go, oh, this is natural. We're used to it. And that's okay. God created the world in that way. But the idea is like this. The Ramban points out that the great miracles, the open miracles, have to be a reminder that the hidden miracles, the nature, let's say it this way, the open miracles have to wake us up, that we should be aware that what we call nature is also hidden miracles. And the idea is like this. God doesn't want to make these miracles that often. If it will be so many open miracles the whole time, guys, will be too obvious that is God, that somebody is just controlling the world, right? It will just keep going, all these great miracles, that the evil people will be punished like Pharaoh, and the manna will fall down from heaven, and all that will be too obvious. The world is created in the right balance, guys, that we have free will. So, in one hand, the one that wants to search and believe and connect to Hashem, he has the route to take to connect and believe that is Hashem over there running the world. But it has to be some logic also for the one that doesn't want to believe. We have free will. That's why we get reward if we do the right thing. That's why you get punished if you don't do the right thing. Meaning we have the option to choose. The option to choose, guys, it has to be in the right balance. Whoever wants to connect and believe, it makes sense to him to connect and believe. And whoever doesn't want also has to make sense to him, right, in his way, that why not God? Why is not a creator, right? It has to make sense also. If we'll have these open miracles the whole time, guys, it wouldn't be the right balance. And that's why they don't happen, you could say, from Yetziat Mitzrayim. It didn't. We still see miracles, and we still see the hand of Hashem, but you might say we don't see those great miracles like happened then, because we won't have the right balance. And that's why we do have to remember them. That's why the Ramban says, that's why you're putting on the tefillin, on your hand, on your head. These are reminders, is one power, is one creator that is controlling the whole world. And he did these miracles when we went out of Egypt. That's a sign that you're wearing and you're believing there is one creator, one God. So that's the idea, guys. That's the fundamental idea of the Ramban, guys. And it's a fascinating message and a belief. It's very crucial, guys, because that's what's happening on a daily basis. On a daily basis, guys, is it on the individual level to each person? Go through your life, guys, and see that how many times, maybe that had happened, and maybe that happened. You was waiting for this, you're waiting for that, and boom, Hashem helped you, right? And suddenly something happened. Each one should go his life, your family, and the Jewish people, guys. Just look now, guys, in the stories. So in one hand, terrible attack, hundreds of people died, killed in miserable ways. But on the other hand, you see the hand of Hashem. How many people survived? How many people escaped? How many people, the soldiers that gave the life, how they survived, how they managed. So the idea is like this, guys. That's the great idea what the Ramban is teaching us. Those open miracles should wake us up, and we should be aware that what we call nature is also a miracle. That's the idea, and that's how a Jew has to live, remembering that it's all in the hand of Hashem. So even the farmer, the simple thing, what we think is normal, planting, and it grows. Great. Yes, great, beautiful nature, but it's a hidden miracle. And that's how we live. That's how we believe, guys. And it's fascinating that we have to live with the idea, with the attitude that we have to be aware to that, to appreciate that, and to live that life the whole time, that Hashem is in the details. Hashem is taking care of us. Every day is a new world. Every day is a new life, guys. And Hashem is in the details exactly any minute, every minute. And what we call nature is also a miracle. Okay, I'll just end up with this, guys. So we're talking about redemption and the obligation that we have to appreciate, the hand of Hashem taking care of us, redeeming us. It was a great story, guys, a real story that happened years ago. So it was a man that fell in to the tracks of the train in America, in the subway in America, in New York. So he fell into the pit, not exactly on the tracks, but on the pit over there, which is very, very dangerous. A Jewish man, a frum guy, fell in there, and he's petrified, guys. If the train comes, he's gone. So he had in mind, guys, that whoever will save him, he's going to give him $100,000. That's what he had in mind. Okay, comes this huge guy, not Jewish guy, dark guy, huge guy, and saves him, picks him up, boom, and saves him, brings him up back to over there, to the station. They catch the guy that saved him and says to him, "Oh my gosh, you're the hero! Wow, you just saved a person, a whole life. We want to write an article about you. You want to this, that." He said, "Whoa, guys. I'm not a hero. I'm a nothing. I'm in a rush to the restaurant to wash dishes. That's my job. I wash dishes in a restaurant. I get paid $12 an hour. Last night in the restaurant was a big party, and I didn't finish to wash the dishes. And I saw that if I'll be late, I'll lose an hour of work, an hour or 2 hours. So I just jumped down, picked up the guy, right, and saved him because I'm rushing to wash dishes." So what's the halachic question, guys? Came this guy and asking the rabbi, does he have to give him the $100,000? When he was lying there, right, on the floor, he was thinking that whoever saved him will give him $100,000. Ended up that the guy that saved him had no intention to save him. He was just rushing to wash dishes. $10 an hour, $12. Huh, guys? So does he owe him $100,000 or no?
Yes.
You say yes. Why?
Because his intention was to pay someone $100,000.
Okay, so I'll just quickly, guys, I'll tell you the halachic dilemma. So this is a question that was brought down to Rabbi Zilberstein from Bnei Brak. And the question was, guys, this is not a vow that you're doing for charity. The rules are that when you have in mind to give to charity, so there's enough that if you have a thought that you'll give tzedakah. But this is not tzedakah, guys. This is something that he was thinking to give to the guy that will save his life. So, okay? So this is not in the category of giving tzedakah. So I'll just finish on saying, guys, one of the rabbis said, no, he doesn't have to give $100,000 because the guy that saved him didn't really mean to save him, but he should give him a third, $30,000. But it did come to another rabbi that said that he has to give all the $100,000. Appreciation, hakarat tov. It doesn't matter, guys, that even he didn't have intention to save him, and at the end of the day, he did save him, so he owes him the money. Have a great day.